let me tell you this. After my last time on your show, I drove home feeling really good that I had made 3 wonderful new friends with some intelligent, fun people to hang out with. So here I am a couple weeks later. I'm listening to your show while I'm doing a male model shoot for GT.
Didn't know Bill was a liar, but let's continue.
He's a politician. It's on brand.
And as I was posing shirtless, I hear Zach make some sort of comment about my appearance. Let me quote him. He says, "If you look at him, you wouldn't want to vote for him." And I had to stop everything. I looked in the mirror, gave myself some affirmation, and said, "You must be wrong. This cannot be. Zach."
The All About Nothing podcast might have language and content that is inappropriate for some. Listener discretion is advised. Recorded live from GOT Sound Studio, this is the All About Nothing podcast with Trent Clark, Zach King, and Barrett Gruber.
Welcome, Nothingers, to the All About Nothing podcast. This is episode number 162. I am Barrett Gruber, joined by Zach King, Trent Clark. We're not sitting in order,
Not
are
in
we?
order no more.
Hi, guys.
Guys, welcome to the show. We are going to have Bill Kimler here speak with us. He's already on the phone, so he can actually speak at any point he'd like, and you will hear him. But I'm going to go ahead and go through with my shtick before we get started. Hey, everybody, please subscribe to the show. Share the show. Also, this is how we get new listeners. Also, please consider becoming a supporter of us financially by visiting theallaboutnothing.com and becoming an official member. And probably, I don't know why I can't get through this.
Well, I thought you was going to pre-record it soon.
You only had 160 attempts to do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
We can AI your voice for all the times you said it. Exactly. Probably just put it together.
What I need to do is I need to stop trying to read it so quickly. All right, please.
Suffer and succotash.
Please also consider supporting us financially by visiting theallaboutnothing.com and becoming an official member and proudly calling yourself a true nothinger. We have a bunch of membership tiers available that give you early access and exclusive content. Also, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts and you think we're worth it, go ahead and give us a review and punch up those 5 stars. And if you're not on Apple, give us a review where you can. Share the episode with your family and friends, or follow us on Twitter at AAN_pod and Facebook, All About Nothing US, and interact. Just search for the All About Nothing podcast or visit our website for links, theallaboutnothing.com. And with that out of the way, I'm going to jump into the shout outs real quick. First of all, shout out to Bill Kimler, who officially became a nothinger.
Oh, thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah.
So, did you pick that $100 tier, Bill?
Oh, I don't think we have a $100 tier.
Oh, we got to make one. We got to make one. We got to get these. We got to get these campaign donations in.
My heart be still, Bill.
Bill's in the process right now of going in and canceling.
I'm going to be filing a defamation lawsuit against him.
Bill recently became an official nothinger, and you can too. Bill has early access to episodes that are published sometimes 3 days early before they publish for everyone else. You can visit theallaboutnothing.com and click on the support link there to become an official nothinger. And Bill, I'm glad you're on the phone, because I think you have been a big part of what we've done, especially over the course of the last year, from your candidacy to appearing on the show with us and supplying us with content. I am eternally grateful for what you've done. But I also want to just remind everyone, by the time you're hearing this episode, which is this episode will drop on July 3rd, so the day before 4th of July. So if you're listening to this on 4th of July, happy 4th, Independence Day, whatnot.
May your fingers ever be safe.
Yeah. By the time, though, you're hearing this, the Post and Courier's Free Times Best of Columbia 2023 voting will have been completed. And because
Terror sounds cute.
Because we record on Wednesdays before the Monday drop, we have no idea how this is going to end up. But regardless of the outcome, it was an honor to be nominated, and I think we fought hard to get as many possible votes as we could.
Rigged.
It was rigged.
It was rigged, yeah.
So
I listened to the podcast and said, wow, that's a weird podcast.
I want to thank you to all the listeners, members, supporters, all of the votes, all of the reshares, and just to name a few, and this is a list I'm gonna go through real quick, so bear with me.
All right. Well, your name is Barrett.
Thank you very much to GOT Sound Studio, Everplay Sports and Social League, Transmission Arcade, Smokey Loggins, John Kosis Jr., and the Columbia Fireflies, Barnes and Leslie of the Morning X on 99X in Atlanta, Famously Garnet Sports, the Review Sunday Drag Brunch, the All-Star Soda City Drag Brunch, Paris LaFerris, Valerie and Ed Photography, me from Welcome to Wonderland podcast, and honestly, many, many more. Truly,
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We are absolutely humbled by the support that we've seen through this Best of Columbia 2023 campaign. And also just another shout out. Again, thanks, John Kosis, for our weekly update for the Fireflies. Very much appreciate that. And we're actually going to turn that into an exclusive drop. We'll have it during the show, but we'll also have it available to everybody exclusively once it gets recorded if you become a member. So become a member. Just join up. Get on the tier, any one of the tiers that isn't free. And why
you made that available.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Shout out to everybody that dealt with us coming up to you and saying, "Hey, do you mind doing this real quick?"
Correct.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Because I think we're good. Check us out. And if you're new, join us. Look how much fun it is. We have Bill on.
Yeah. So, Bill, before
Listen, I can't stress to you the importance of having that early drop because that allows you to prepare a legal defense over the weekend before the episode hits the general airwaves on Monday. So, yeah, you want to sign on board.
Bill, can I read your text message that you sent to me this past Saturday?
Not the lovey stuff, but everything else. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So,
said not the lovey stuff.
okay. So hold on. Let me
read a picture, Bill.
Let
It's
me
fine.
let me scroll past that. I got to scroll past. That was like 9 pages worth of the greatest,
The best,
the most
candidate.
handsome, regardless.
Oh,
of
is
what
that a
Zach
nude?
says.
Now I'm scrolling to see what the hell is it.
Is that a nude? Bill with his shirt off?
So Saturday at 11:41 a.m., I get a text message from Bill. He says, "I'm on the way to Columbia for a meeting with this afternoon. Got to listen to your interview with Marianne Williamson. My friend, you knocked it out of the park. This was one of the top political interviews I have ever heard. I appreciate that." Then he also then he went into how much he disagreed. Well, he was going to write up a dissertation on how much he disagreed. So honestly, I'd love to have you in studio for that, but you and Zach don't get along very well, so I don't know if that's
Me and Bill are best friends, okay? But now know that you're also named in the lawsuit.
So he's not alone.
so.
He's not alone.
Bill, from your perspective, what were the things that you disagreed with Marianne Williamson? Because ultimately,
Well, what did you agree with first? I think.
Maybe we should do that.
What did you agree with?
Okay, so Bill, what did you agree with? And I don't know that you have the notes in front of you, but what were some of the things that you did agree with?
Well, the first thing I did not agree with was out of that conversation. Because if it wasn't for me, you never would have met Marianne Williamson.
That is true.
You
know what?
Candidate on your podcast.
You are absolutely correct.
Look at the big dick.
Bill,
on
do you understand how we feel, Bill? Us as the co-host, not able to ask questions.
I know.
You know what I mean? We feel the exact same, Bill. We
Barrett
understand.
on his show made it sound like she was knocking down his door to speak to him. He's just basking in the glory.
They keep the kids in the cupboard.
Yeah, man. The last week of the voting, Barrett drops a me podcast.
Check this shit out.
Bill, you are absolutely correct. I should have absolutely made sure to thank you for the opportunity to meet Marianne Williamson.
Here's Bill. He's not fond of you, but I have to thank him.
You know the funniest part about that is like she didn't really remember where she met him. So when he said it, she was like, "Oh, that is where I met you at."
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "What? You had the short shorts, the flip flops, and the Banana Jack shirt on."
You went to the fish fry afterwards, right?
I don't think she made it to the fish fry afterwards. I don't imagine that fish fry is in her diet.
That complaint was 90% of my dissertation. So here's the other 10%.
Okay.
I've actually seen her speak in person about 3-4 times now.
Yeah.
For somebody who's polling so low, she's kind of on the fringe, I would say, of political figures. She's been down to South Carolina a lot.
Yeah.
She came to Greenwood back in the 2020 cycle. This was one of her first stops. And I got to sit literally 2 feet away from her as she spoke. And every time I've heard her speak, just honestly not impressed by the content. Her demeanor, her presence, she's a pro, right? Yeah. She is experienced. She's been doing this for years. Props to her for all her books and her, she's media savvy. But when I listen to the content of what she says, I felt myself kind of like, needing more. I felt a little empty. I'll give you an example. The first time I heard her speak, she went on and on about the public education system and how it's broken and how schools are financed through property taxes, which means the rich areas get the better schools, the poor areas have crumbling facilities, and it's not fair. And I was like, hey, that's absolutely true. So I raised my hand and asked her a question. Says, all right, how would you redo the system so that it's not tied to zip codes and property taxes?
Yeah.
And you know what she went? She had no answer. She went off and talked about founding fathers, 1776, George Washington crossing the river, and a whole bunch of stuff that never addressed the question I asked. And from that point, I said, you know what? She's in this for something else, but solving problems, that's not her forte. So bless her in her endeavors, but this is not a role for her.
Sure.
Well, she seems like that's, from what I got, she has the problems that she's going to address, right?
I think so. Just based on, I prefer my candidates to be very progressive because I believe that if you're not pushing the line, then you're just keeping the status quo. And I'm not saying that is bad. I'm just saying that I think that for the candidates that I want to represent me and my beliefs, I need someone that's going to be constantly pushing the line further rather than just saying they're going to push the line. I fully believe that we need a universal healthcare system. I think that we need a single payer system that is going to be available for the public, potentially similar, if not just Medicare for all. But that is because I recognize that Medicare operates at an efficiency that other insurance companies don't, because Medicare doesn't have to. They don't have to answer to a board of directors. They don't have to have.
Listen, Barrett, I'm not Marianne.
Oh, I know.
You're using.
It's straight.
You're talking like you're talking to Marianne. I am not Marianne Williamson.
I know.
Actually, Barrett is actually
Remember where you
campaigning
are.
right
It's
now.
Billy Ann Kimlerson.
I want a candidate.
So I do want to address.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to address your point. You want somebody who represents your progressive views, and I feel like I'm very progressive as well.
I agree.
I get that. But I think first and foremost, I want somebody who's competent,
Oh yeah.
who's demonstrated an ability to lead, to work in the world of politics, to get stuff done under very difficult circumstances.
So you feel that she's jumped the
Biden,
gun?
Yeah. I mean, we had a neophyte, non-politician run the country for 4 years, and it was an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah.
He couldn't keep a cabinet for more than 10 seconds before somebody else was turning over. And you're seeing that in Marianne's campaign. She's had 2 campaign managers in 2 months. They're gone. Her last campaign manager was had police charges filed against her for stealing funds from a Democratic organization because she spent it on concert tickets. So these are the people that Marianne's surrounding herself with. I'm thinking she may have the greatest ideas, but this is not the job for her. Let her run for mayor or something.
Yeah.
Demonstrate you can lead and get policies pushed through.
Yeah.
So do you think, Bill, do you think Biden is that for you right now?
No, he's a career politician.
I can go into Biden, but let me finish this thought by saying that if somebody like Gavin Newsom or Roy Cooper from North Carolina, or let's say Bernie Sanders decides he wants to run again, man, more power to them. Put them up all on the stage, let them talk it out, because those people have demonstrated they know how to run something in government.
Okay.
So I'm not about let's suppress ideas, but come on, let's be realistic. Look who we have. We have an Oprah book author and a podcaster, and we've got a fringe conspiracy theorist who is being backed by MAGA harder than they're backing Trump himself.
Yeah.
Really, you want them up on a debate stage with Biden, who's busy running the country right now? If there were more legitimate candidates out there, let them speak, let them demonstrate. Heck, even Pete Buttigieg, he was a mayor. Okay, you know what? That's fine. You were a mayor or something, you get to go up on the stage.
That's an
But
executive.
if you've not been elected to a single position in your life, then get out of the game. You're just a distraction.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, no, and I don't disagree with you at all. I think that's you have to recognize that there are, and I think I've said it here that Joe Biden is a statesman. I get that he's been a career politician. He's been in politics, but for 45, 50 years now. But I recognize him as a statesman who knows how to get things done in Washington at a federal level because he's been there for so long. I don't look at Biden's age as being something that is limiting his ability, because when I see Biden speak, I don't see someone that's too old to do the job. I see someone that's competent. I get that, he's going to make gaffes, but to be completely honest with you, which presidents haven't made gaffes? Obama would make gaffes, but Obama could play them off. Trump was a walking gaffe, But Biden ultimately, I do recognize that Biden is let's just assume he gets reelected, okay? Because honestly, I think that's the best case scenario between a Biden-Trump election.
And Biden's how old?
He's 82 this year, or no, 81 this year. He'll be 86 at the end of his term if he gets reelected.
We don't need that.
Well, I don't again. But so what's the alternative? If it's Trump, Trump's only 2 years younger.
Fallacy. Let me try to position this a different way. I think it's a fallacy when you look at somebody who is president or wants to be president, that they single-handedly control everything.
Mm-hmm.
You want somebody who's going to eliminate the marijuana, make it stop making it a classified narcotic.
Right.
Let's legalize it. A president, no matter who you vote for, even if by some miracle Marianne Williamson gets into office, does not have a shot in hell of getting it done by him or herself. A president at best can surround themselves with a good staff, make arrangements and build relationships with Congress and Senate, and help steer and nudge the country in a direction. But to single-handedly be able to do all the stuff that you hope somebody could do in 3 years, that is absolutely an unrealistic expectation, no matter what side of the political fence you're on.
So even if I recognize the limitations of executive orders, but it's always been my understanding that a president could sign an executive order that would remove marijuana from the Schedule I narcotics list, eliminating the federal restrictions on banking as well as the sale and distribution, but that would likely get fought all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Isn't that what put it there?
Yeah, look what happened we're going to get a decision here on the forgiveness of student loans in a couple of days here, if not weeks, right? So yeah, even executive orders are limited, and that's not something you can go and just start writing them all out and hope some of them stick. You've got to be judicious in what you use it for, and instead work towards laws. Let me give you another example. Marianne Williamson brought up a point. She said about the insulin, putting the cap on insulin, right? So she made a comment, that, hey, Trump did that. Why is Biden out there taking credit and kind of doing victory laps over capping the insulin costs? Well, here's the difference. Trump did it through executive order. And that order actually never went into effect. The order itself was very limited. It only was in effect for certain federally controlled health centers. So it was a very small percentage of diabetics who would have gotten that price anyway. But regardless, it never went into effect. And then Biden put a hold on all of Trump's executive orders, kind of his first days of office after they tried a coup. He's like, well, we're not going to put up with that shit. We're going to put on hold all of his executive orders. So what was different about the Biden administration? Well, they got this insulin cap for anybody who's on Medicare, which is now millions, and put it into law. It got passed by Congress and Senate and signed into law. It's permanent. Now, that is 100 times better than what Trump did or any president could have done with an executive order. So that was one exception that I took where Marianne Williamson was doing a false equivocation on the two. One actually made a difference, the other did not.
No, I'm glad you pointed that out because I did remember I recognized that Trump had done the executive order. I didn't recognize the restrictions of it and the fact that it didn't actually fall on being able to assist virtually anybody. So no, I appreciate you bringing that up. That's terrific, and I'm glad we've been corrected on that. Or I have.
Well, it was her I was correcting. You were just, you were practically drawing Marianne Williamson a bubble bath and pouring champagne.
Oh, yeah. Barry was saying, hey, man, you don't even look 70.
You fell under her spell, buddy.
When I said, baby.
Look, if I needed a grandmother, actually, I don't think she could have been my grandmother. How old am I?
No, y'all about the same age.
57.
About the same age.
45, 40. Anyway.
Y'all about the same age.
Yeah, no, it was. Look, honestly, and I'll just be completely honest. I thought that it was a really good opportunity to have an interview, and I enjoyed speaking with her, and I like the fact that she and I have the same progressive ideas. But I recognize also that I have made many requests for her campaign and her to please promote the episode. Please go on Twitter and Facebook and put that out there and reshare it. And I don't care if they add anything to it, just reshare it. Just do something to promote the fact that you were on our podcast and that just acknowledge that nothing, not a single thing yet.
Yeah, the most promotion we got was from the Republicans last year.
No, that's not true. Bill, and
the smear stuff.
I'm talking about the smear stuff. That's what I'm talking about. As far as if you wanted some promotion,
they turned our words against
They turned your words against you, dog.
Yeah, lesson learned. Don't ask open-ended questions that could potentially. Yeah.
Did you? I don't think you asked her any open-ended questions, though.
No, I've learned my lesson.
No,
okay.
he was very respectful. He was professional, and I actually meant it when I sent you that text, Barrett. It was one of
I believe
most
you.
professional sounding interviews I'd ever heard. It was great. And if it was a conversation about progressive ideas and trying to lob some legitimate criticism at the current administration, hey, that's all fine and good. But presidential, you can't get me there.
Well, I meant it when she and I had a conversation for a little bit after the interview, and we discussed her visiting South Carolina, and if she needed somebody to come out there that was local and speak, I would be more than happy to do it because I'm always willing to get in front of a microphone.
Basically, Barrett told her he'll do all her campaigns for her. That's basically what he said. He'll be her road dog.
That's a bit of a stretch.
Careful. You may be her next campaign manager.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, Barrett, I can see that.
Honestly,
Bill,
depends on what it pays.
If she does become president and she starts talking about charging the Capitol, we will keep a close eye on Barrett.
What administrative role would Barrett be given if she makes it to president?
Court jester.
No,
court jester.
You know what? Honestly, let's just say so. Purely out of curiosity, if there were an opportunity for me to be like one of the chiefs, not chief of staff, but like
this is your job would be. You would he would just press sec is good, but he would just be the person that announces her every move.
Press secretary would be awesome. I would.
You'd be better than Kellyanne Conway.
Hell yeah! I would. I'm just gonna say it right now, Marianne Williamson. You get elected in 2024. You need a press secretary. It's me.
It's Barrett.
I will take that job.
Well, anybody's better than Sean Spicer, right? That was his name, right?
Kellyanne. You had
Kellyanne.
Sean Spicer. You had the girl, the woman on
with the Roman eye.
No,
the one that had the Roman eye.
The blonde. Oh, you're talking about Sarah Sanders.
Smokey eye.
Yeah, Smokey eye.
No,
Smokey
but
eye.
Who's the governor of Arkansas now?
It was like when Trump was picking his press secretaries, he went with Sean Spicer and he went with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and then he just started flipping through Playboy magazines.
I mean, yeah, come on, man, you got to beat him with looks.
That's.
You're not going to listen to
her that. Barrett, you should send her that video of you walking that drag show at an audition tape.
Oh yeah, you seen him backing it up, Bill? You seen that? He was backing that thing up.
Bill, you actually don't know this, but the Queens have adopted that move and they call it the politician.
Yeah, we're coining it right now.
All right. Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right, how y'all doing?
Did I give the victory sign too? Did I?
You look like
I saw that guy. I said, "Wow, that's a pretty guy."
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed doing the interview, and I appreciate any feedback on it. Because,
and Bill, you gotta come to the drag show, man.
Oh yeah, Bill
come on,
the drag
Saturday and Sunday.
We gotta see if we can do better.
No, man, yeah, we got. That's what I'm saying. You come to the drag show, man. Bring the wife, bring everybody, man. We make it a big thing.
You don't know my wife very well, do you?
Hey, man, look, all wives love drag shows. I know that for sure.
Oh, yeah, and he is the expert.
Trent, are you bringing a lot of wives to the...
All the wives are coming
all the wives.
to the drag show. That's what they're doing. They're leaving the husbands at home and coming to the drag show.
They'll even play Garth Brooks for you, Bill.
Well...
Only if you requested him. Give me $20.
Yeah. I consider replacing both of you guys with Bill for the show.
Okay.
That's fine.
I I mean, that's fine. I mean, but
I think
if you don't want to go for a podcast with looks,
And you're gonna turn the video on.
And now we're gonna go for the looks thing again.
I studied how Trent hits that little bell. I think I can replace it.
yeah.
Well,
Bear just gave me the job. He wanted to do everything at one point in time. So he had this board, a computer, and everything else. But he just shrunk it down. Now he knows.
Sometimes I get to do it.
Let me just give you the inner workings of the Gruber, and we all suffer. All Grubers suffer from this, whether I'm related to them or not. If you are blood Gruber, you have this egomaniacal thought process of you have to control everything. And I'll just give you an example. So someone comes to me and basically just wants to vent. But in my head, I am constantly trying to think of solutions. Like, okay, so these are the this is the situation, these are the symptoms, this is the scenario. In my head, I'm constantly trying to come up with solutions for them. And I have to believe that this is something that has been passed down from generation to generation. And I sometimes don't know how to turn that off.
That makes sense.
So this control,
It's like the worst. It's like the worst Highlander thing.
Facts.
There can only be one.
And that's the reason why he's always been a boss ever since Pizza Hut. You know what I'm saying?
So you die a little bit when I'm like, Barrett, I'll start the game
he's
on
like,
Xbox.
no!
Yeah. Barrett's like, I was fucking there.
So press secretary, we'll just go back. Press secretary or Secretary of the Interior. I would.
If you do press
Are you
sec
gonna
and
do
it starts
decorating?
going south,
No, interior. We're talking about national like national parks. And
you talking about like Ivanka's job? Like the trees will be red.
Yeah, these curtains need to be blue.
The trees are red and the leaves are green.
I see you picking up some stuff.
That was a made up position by Trump as the Interior Secretary of the Interior Design.
That's what it sounded like.
I'm all for made up positions.
Different.
Hey, look, that sounds like 80,000 a year.
This made up position got a chick.
How much do the secretaries?
I'll
get?
be the White
I
House
like how
reindeer
he's aiming high. You got to give him that.
Yeah, he's aiming high.
Wasn't
He's aiming high. What he's going to end up getting is like being an ambassador to Kazakhstan and working with Borat.
Oh man,
That's going to really end up.
No, when the president's helicopter lands, you'll be the guy who kicks the little flap down.
or brings the little step so they can go. They wouldn't give him the flat. They're like, bro, put the step there. That's your job.
And if Trump gets back in
Marines are
office,
for.
you'll be in charge of stomping the toilet paper off his shoe.
Oh Lord. Chasing him up the stairs.
Wouldn't be a fast chase.
No, that's true. That's true. Hey, Bill, do you want to stick around for a second? Because, well, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if I can play the audio while we're on the phone. I was going to play the. So, I assume by now you've heard the Trump audio leak, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So and we're going to do this in the second half. So in the second half of the episode, we're going to play the audio. But just from listening to the actual leak and Zach's impression, the last episode we recorded, how close was it?
I couldn't tell the difference.
I saw Bill. I said, wow, Bill's a smart guy. Wow, smart guy.
Smart guy.
I
knew I liked him. Not a coward.
Not a coward.
So because Bill has heard it, and he won't be able to be here for the second half, but because Bill has heard it,
correct.
How, in your opinion,
I want to know if Trent's was better. How Trent's was like,
in your opinion, like, is this evidence damning? I get that Trump's denying it. I get that Trump's denying that he actually had a document in front of him, or that it was actually a secret document or whatever. But like, the audio's pretty damning, right? I mean, does this feel pretty open and shut?
I mean, he basically said, I am committing a crime. I am committing a crime. I am committing a crime.
Look at this crime.
Crime.
Yeah.
That's basically what I heard.
And then verification for, you see the crime? I did that.
But but we all know in white collar crimes, that don't get you a...
That isn't a white collar crime.
This is like a brown collar crime.
This is like flat out like espionage.
When I say white collar, I'm saying like...
Oh,
rich
because
people.
he's white?
Yeah. Yes, that's
All right.
what I'm
Well,
saying.
That's not even what that means, Trent, though.
Hey, look.
So
in my eyes,
Sure, when they say white collar crime, you're like, of course, white people.
no, I think of like
the crime is-
high dollar crimes is what I think of, like
high dollar.
like scamming
No,
or
the
fraud
crime
or
is
stuff
just
like
how
that.
Yeah.
stupid he was. Like, first of all, he knew he was being recorded.
yeah,
You knew that, right?
yeah.
Like, there was a documentary crew in there recording. He knew he was on camera, and it didn't even occur to him that what he was doing was wrong. And if he did it then, just imagine how many hundreds, if not thousands of times he did the exact same thing. He did it to Kid Rock.
Yep.
Kid Rock was looking at classified documents thinking, should I really be looking at this?
Yeah.
It's a truly high crime.
This don't ball with the ball, baby.
Bob did it, Dom the bang the dang.
So then my next question is clearly if this does reach the point where it goes to trial and then a jury does find Donald Trump guilty, and this is we'll end on this.
He'll
before we
still
go to
be
break.
running for the president.
Well, of course he'll still be running, but
Here I am in jail.
Because I've contemplated the heaviness of the idea of convicting a president and then literally a former president going to jail. In my mind, there's only one out for the entire country, and that is to potentially Biden offer him or him pardon him, not exclusively to where he can still, commit more crimes or whatever, but either a pardon or potentially exile.
You think Biden gonna pardon him?
If that happens, we're storming the Capitol, guys.
Well,
You honestly think
this is what
Biden is
Barrett's
gonna?
advising.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm not
I
saying
don't
that
think he'll do it. He would advise him.
this is because ultimately Trump gets convicted and has to go to prison. That is a divide that I don't think this country can survive. And I get that MAGA makes up only like 22 or
The
23%.
What are you talking about?
Well, if
but-
you make barbecue, you could
All right, so
defect
Barrett,
them over.
let me position it this way. You know that kid on Twitch who gave up a bunch of classified documents to friends and strangers online, right?
Right.
He's been arrested and charged. So here you've got him doing that. You've got Trump who essentially did the same thing, but because you're scared of what the maggots might do if Trump goes to jail, you issue him a pardon, but that poor kid who did pretty much the same thing, you know what? He gets locked up the rest of his life. And to me, that's not just.
No, and I think that is ultimately what's fair for Trump. But I'm not scared of what MAGA will do. I'm more afraid of the likelihood that will continue to just create an unbelievable divide that I don't think that any politician could potentially mend. That's all I'm suggesting. I just don't.
So what's the point of going after
The
him?
divide's already there.
Yeah, you're right.
The divide's already there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
not going to make it any worse.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, because what's the point of going after him if you didn't want this to happen? If you was going to pardon him the whole time, you just wasting tax dollar monies.
but
for what?
But it's not necessarily just to. It's not necessarily just to get Trump. It's also to show that these people put their support behind someone that is so incredibly flawed. Just even from the point of just being a human being.
But you think that's going to change their mind?
Is
that what we plan on? Is that what we were trying to do?
Well, his conviction is not going to change their mind anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's pointless.
I think
I
people,
appreciate
Go ahead.
Barrett's just trying to be the better man. I mean, he's got a heart of gold. He just wants everybody to get along. That's why I totally get where you're coming from on this.
Yeah.
But the reality is, whether he's given a pardon or whether he's locked up, is not going to change the temperature in this nation one bit. Nobody has named one person who wears a MAGA hat who's going to look at Joe Biden giving him a pardon and say, "Hey, great job, Joe. Thank you for that, Joe.
Never.
No,
Good
you're
job,
right.
Joe."
No,
Not
no.
one.
They wouldn't put a sticker. Joe
say
did that on
No,
that.
they would say, finally, Brandon.
Finally, Brandon.
Yeah.
Finally.
All right. Well, Bill, thank you very much for being on with us, especially last minute.
Bill Nye the political
And
guy.
anytime you wanna tear Zach a new one on Twitter or Facebook or
Listen,
on
guys,
TikTok.
Bill and I rehearsed all this. He actually invited all of us, and I'm telling him now, Bill, to his house to swim in his pool.
Thanks, Bill.
Bill, do you want to tell him what I thought?
How deep is your pool?
What I thought it said?
I need to know that.
I thought Bill was inviting you if you could fit in his pool. I thought that's what it said.
No, we all three had to fit in the blow up thing.
Yeah,
like
the
a blow up pool.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm not doing that with y'all.
yeah. I'm not. I
That's
mean,
a nasty picture.
Yeah, Barrett was trying to send me a script.
I'm
That's a nasty-
gonna
He's
talk.
not your
I'm gonna
friend.
talk through Trent's microphone
What y'all
now
doing?
as I hug him.
See, this is why you don't do podcasts with white guys right here. This is why too touchy.
All right, Bill Kimler, thank you very much for being on. Of course, everybody knows Bill Kimler is you're the committee.
Hold on, he didn't answer how deep his pool was.
Oh,
how deep is your pool, Bill?
It's as deep as Zach's eyes.
That's all I need to hear.
Expect. I'm bringing floaties.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Kimler, chairman for the Democratic Party in Greenwood County. Thank you very much for being with us, Bill. Appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. This is the All About Nothing podcast. Go ahead, Zach.
And you're funny, but looks aren't everything, Bill.
Oh, Lord. This is the All About Nothing podcast. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Shiana, host of Who You Callin' Holistic, and you're listening to the All About Nothing podcast.
All right, welcome back to the All About Nothing podcast. Barrett Gruber, Trent Clark, Zach King.
That's me.
Thank you, Bill, again for being on the first half of the episode and talking with us because, frankly, you cut us a break, and I'll put the check in the mail. Before we
make it back to us, though, we're gonna need that.
You get some makeup.
So. Before we get into some other topics that have come of interest over the course of the last couple weeks, because we didn't record an episode last week, so we missed out on the submersible thing. We'll discuss that here in a minute. But we did get a leak this past week on Monday of what actually transpired between Donald Trump, a couple of his aides, and some people in there recording him for, I believe, Mark Meadows' book. So this is, I'm going to play the audio from that recording that was leaked to CNN, and now all the news and whatnot have it. But before I do that, Zach did a fantastic impression on the last episode that we recorded from the transcript of the indictment. And if you haven't heard that, you should go back and listen to it, especially after I play this.
These are bad, sick people.
That was your coup, against you.
Well, it started right at the
like
beginning.
when Millie's talking about, you were going to try to do a coup. No, they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in. That's right. Trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Millie, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came out. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me
this. This is off the record.
This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Wow. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look. Wait a minute. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, Mm-hmm. Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. Look at this. You attack, and
Hillary would print that out all the time.
How do you know that?
She sent it to Anthony Weiner, the pervert.
The pervert.
By the way, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I was just saying, because we were talking about it, and he said he wanted to attack Iran and what? These are the papers. This was done by the military, given to me.
Okay, Grandma.
I think we can probably, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to figure out
See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't, but this is classified.
Now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, it's so, look, here I have, and you probably almost didn't believe me, but now you believe me.
No, I believe
it's incredible, right?
No,
hey, bring some Cokes in, please.
Bring some Cokes in, please. That to me is the most incriminating part because throughout his entire presidency,
if you don't mind.
His entire presidency, it was Diet Coke. But now that he's no longer president,
you cut it off. You cut it off right before Don Jr. blew the door open when he heard bringing the Coke.
Yeah. No, unfortunately,
nobody really likes Diet Coke, Barrett.
I
do.
I don't mind a Diet Coke now and then.
It's pointless.
I mostly just drink water, and you should too. So yeah, Zach, I think between
the cadence and everything was pretty much spot on.
Between you and Trent playing the other roles, I think that was pretty much spot on. Mm-hmm. I am thoroughly impressed.
Go ahead, book us. Denzel.
That's
and,
right.
Leonardo over here.
No, I'll be
Jonah Hill,
Last of the Mohicans.
Daniel Day-Lewis. That's fair.
I can see that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Look at us.
He's really white.
Yeah,
playing a Mohican.
My boy. They murdered my boy. I drink your milkshake.
So, submersibles, Ocean Gate. I know. Well, Trent put on some videos earlier, but we've sailed way past them. So
now
it's
they're
no
just
longer.
talking about
now
the
they're talking about
Titanic.
Titanic now. And
Yeah.
stuff like that, but
No one gives a shit. That's so 6th grade.
So, look, I guess I just want to say this. I don't know that I feel any sympathy to the individuals who died on the submersible.
I feel bad for the kid.
Do you?
Yeah.
they said before he was scared to do it.
Oh, wow. So
he followed his dad. So the kid who followed his dad, it sucks for him. But the rest were billionaires. And one guy who was bucking tradition of safe submarines and bragged about, like, they say don't use carbon fiber, but I did it anyway.
Yeah, I don't have any. Even the kid, I don't have any sympathy for them.
Cold.
As I wouldn't have any sympathy for anybody else that did it.
Correct.
Because you know the risk. And I understand that the submersible had made some 20-odd, trips down before, but all that does is that just
wear and tear.
Yeah, that's the constant of going down, reaching that pressure, and then it being relaxed.
They would have to rebuild the machine every year for it to make it.
Essentially, these should have been disposable units, as far as I'm concerned. So
one-time use.
Yeah, you do it, and then that's it. It goes into a museum, or it gets repurposed for something else. But like the idea that they continued to take this one device down over and over and over again, I mean. It doesn't speak to safety, and then to find out that most of it was built out of like the actual components of it, not just the fiber glass
Bed
case.
Bath & Beyond, Home Depot, all that shit.
Yeah, Camp World, and when he did an interview that was on CBS, I don't know how recently it was, but like he seemed to be proud of the fact that he had basically used parts from an old camper.
Correct.
And then it was, and look, and I get the people that were crapping on the fact that it had a Logitech video game controller.
And they're taking a big hit this week.
Are they?
Oh my God, in numbers?
Yeah.
But their name is like, you don't want to buy nothing Logitech, man. Like, but it was like when the coronavirus was going around, you're like, you didn't want to drink Corona. During the coronavirus,
I didn't succumb to that.
No,
though.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, people like Logitech might have boosted them. Who knows? Be like, let's see. But
not that controller.
No, not that one.
They don't even make that controller anymore.
Yeah,
what trips me out, though,
do they?
Yeah, it's like $29.99.
They're not making
what
it,
trips me out is like
they've already made their money off of that.
They were down there going down, and like everyone's like, "Wow, this is great. This is great." And
they didn't make
like,
it.
How deep are we? He's like, "Yeah, we're pretty much." Hold on. Well, that's funny. That's
exactly what happened, because they said that they showed videos of what had happened.
Yeah, the mock-up
and how quick it would be. Like they would just wake up at a Michael Jackson concert.
No,
basically after what had happened, like it would have been a blink of an eye, and then like they said, like your spine can't even.
How fast it happened, tell your brain.
Tell your brain how fast.
But and that wouldn't have even mattered, because basically all of the oxygen that was the oxygen that was in the air that was available for them to breathe, as soon as that pressure hit, it basically incinerated them all. Yeah, like they were vaporized.
And the physics aspect of it, the best way I heard it put was, how diesel engines compress to create the pressure in order to air. That's how it does it, and it ignites fuel and air by using pressure. That's what happened when 5,000 some odd square
inch pressure
came in. It ignited the air on fire.
Yeah.
For one, so you can combust and squish and compress a gas, right? You can't do it to a liquid. So the next thing coming at 5,500 pound-feet per square inch was the water.
Yeah,
just instantly like
coming into there.
You're just done.
Yeah.
And today CNN had it. They were unloading big old pieces of this stuff onto the dock over there, and you're just going like, dude, the inside of that thing, it probably just crapped the shell off and imploded the inside of it.
Either way, those people did not feel a thing. So again, I feel more. If I'm going to feel sympathy, it's going to be for the family and friends of the people that died in there.
I mean, the one that was at the Blink 182 concert.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. Outside of his cheekiness, like he did that and then got on some hot girls page and was like, "Pray for my family."
There's always going to be an outlier.
Yeah,
I mean, there's always going to be someone.
But
that
was
makes
his
you go,
stepfather. Why did y'all think he would feel like his dad or his stepfather?
Shit,
like he's like, oh, we got money coming in now.
Yeah, that's what he's my thinking. Real dad's alive and he's rich too.
It's crazy. It's. Can you imagine the money that got moved around, like the split second those people died? Yeah. Like think about all the transaction that has to happen now.
It took 4 days. It took 4 days for them to.
I know.
And that's the other thing. Like they based on the size of this thing, like we knew how much. Like there was a finite point where they would run out of air, and it's
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
no. I know, but I mean
the money that they had in their accounts. I'm just like the family's thinking, oh shit.
Insurance policies and shit.
Yeah, going crazy.
No, I'm saying more of the fact that it took 4 days for people to recognize that these people were gone.
The Navy knew. Like
the Navy knew.
Well, yeah, that was the other thing.
And I got a video for you. I'm about to send it to you. I want you to play it.
We heard a thing.
That was the other thing, was that the fact that the Navy knew the moment that it imploded, they recognized that sound in underwater immediately and recognized, and because they were already able to identify exactly where it was, which is why when the Navy came in, basically they went right to where the spot that they knew that they would find debris.
And then you see, like, I'm not an Elon Musk fan by any ways, but people go like, well, then Elon's out there doing the same kind of thing in space. I'm like, well, you can build a lot of things that deal with a perfect vacuum, which is like 32 to 34 pounds per square inch of a vacuum on something, I believe. Not as hard. 5,000 pounds? That's why the ocean's undiscovered.
Yeah.
Well, as far as Elon Musk goes, like...
Well, he's about to fight the Facebook guy, Mark Zuckerberg.
I seen that. Elon.
Can I just say I think that's the dumbest thing ever?
I think it's smart.
I'll pay to watch it. I just want them both to get hit in the face.
Smart. So we watched Logan Paul and them fight. What's the difference?
I'll watch it.
What's the difference? We're watching rich people fight. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, but
why wouldn't we want to see rich people fight?
With $1 million Pokemon card.
Yeah, they got the money to fix themselves, fix faces and stuff like that.
You're not wrong. I guess I didn't think about it from that point.
Yeah, these are billionaires fighting. We need to. I want them to fight barefisted.
So who's your pick?
That's exactly what I was saying.
Who's your pick?
I got Elon all day.
Do you really?
I got Zuck. I'll take Zuck.
I got Zuck too, and the only reason I say that is because
he works out.
I've seen him doing his jiu-jitsu. That's the only point when he looks human is like when he's actually doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu moves.
Are they fighting? Are they boxing?
Fighting. No, it's
a cage fight. Anything. Yeah,
cage fight.
So
no biting.
So Zuck is also a robot, so he doesn't feel pain.
You're right.
He just prime directive, prime directive. He's like a rock'em sock'em robot out there.
I can see that.
I cannot. Is this fight actually going to happen?
It might.
They're both training. Apparently, Elon's.
You know what they're probably going to do this fight in? VR. And it's going to fuck everybody up.
No, because Dana White called both of them to see if it was real, and they both said absolutely.
It still might be VR.
It's not going to be VR.
Based on,
I can see it.
I'll bet you $100 right now it's not VR.
Based on $100, well, that'll pay for the fight, right? Because it's going to be $100. It's going to be $100 to pay.
I'm going somewhere that they're showing it, and they're like, "Give us 10 for you."
I can almost guarantee you we'll have it on here.
Have it.
I feel. Plus, there's plenty of streaming services out there that'll have it that you don't have to pay for. So then my next question is: in a situation where you have enough money, and there is,
I would have to be white too with enough money.
I was already assuming in this scenario you were white.
About to be like, make sure you put that on there because
this is some white people shit.
That's what every black person was saying, dog.
Well, Mayweather did it. Mayweather did it.
What?
Fought a white dude for money?
No. We're Submersible. Yeah.
So this is full on white people.
Okay. Yeah, full on.
So let's say in a scenario where it is absolutely safe, like let's say it's put on by a corporation or
NASA
something.
Has to put on it.
They're not cutting. Okay, let's say NASA then. Yes. They're not cutting any corners. It's completely safe. You have the money. Yeah. Let's say in this magic world that there's the potential that this was possible.
Let's say Lockheed Martin, just because we're not going to use the National Aeronautics and Space Administration to be the one like we're going down now.
Oh, they're gonna contract it out to somebody.
I mean,
NASA don't do that.
They deal with pressure. They know how to deal with pressure.
An exact known pressure no matter where you go.
Yeah. So in the scenario where it's 100% safe, you're gonna nothing's gonna happen bad. You're gonna survive it.
Well, I have a real window so I can actually see it because they didn't actually see it.
Let's say the situation's completely perfect.
Are you asking if it's a super safe thing? Will we go?
No, I'm not going.
Okay, so essentially, I was gonna ask, in this situation where nothing can go wrong, nothing would go wrong. There's no hint of anything going wrong.
Same controller and everything, right?
No, I'm just saying. Okay. I'm saying a perfect scenario. You have the money to be able to take this trip.
No.
Would going down to see the Titanic be something you'd be interested in?
The most boring shit you could go look at.
I'd rather go look at what's the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. I'd rather go look at
if I want to see some boring shit.
I'm of the same mindset. I don't find that to be interesting enough for me to
go over there,
on.
but look at it.
You couldn't get me into the tube to begin with. Even if it was like we were going to the Titan and they were like, here's the tube you're getting in. It is going to be 100% safe. And it's like guaranteed. Like I just rolled a nat 20. It's perfectly going to go fine.
We know that we have cameras that not only can create digital 3D modeling of the exact situation with the exact lighting based on these strobe lights or whatever. Like we know we can create that. Why do we have to go to it to see it? It doesn't do anything for you.
This is what Little Duval said, which is probably one of the smartest things ever. He was like, man, they should have just went like 300 feet down.
I heard
and just
that.
Used like and played the video of them going where they are.
It could just totally make them reproduced
because it's a scam. Like it can be a scam at $250,000, and people wouldn't be mad. Be like,
it took 15 minutes to get down there. It was fantastic.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely. And with VR technology, you move that little joystick and the screen moves. Like, we can go left, right, up, down. You want to go in it? We're going in it. I got a door over here.
I don't. It does not strike my fancy.
Like Disney has that space elevator that will take you to space.
Yeah.
Fool me.
Fool me.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna have more people coming when you're only charging $50K.
I'm only paying like $40 for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so this is basically just a conspiracy video. They think of what was hiding last week in the news cycle.
All week I've been fascinated with this story. Billionaire trapped in the bottom of the sea in search of the Titanic. It'll take 6 hours to get there and only 8 hours of oxygen. Suspense. Will they live? Will they die? Duped by the fucking media. Again. Monday, the Titan is missing. Tuesday, there's a banging sound. Wednesday, they're running out of air. Thursday, oh no, we found the wreckage. But the entire time, they knew it was BS. U.S. Navy knew the sub already blew up on Sunday, but they distracted us, again, to hide the news cycle. What happened this week? Let's do a quick recap on what you missed.
Yeah.
JP Morgan and Jeffrey Epstein emails were released.
Crazy.
And now they have just mistakenly deleted 47 million emails. Joe Biden is undergoing an impeachment vote in the House, or at least trying. The Pentagon fat-fingered $6 billion to Ukraine. Hunter Biden gets a slap on the wrist while FBI whistleblowers are going missing. And John Durham had his congressional hearing this week regarding the Russia hoax. But I was so busy wondering about the billionaire who decided to go boating in a submersible soda can, missed it all.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
All week I've been...
That is true.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, not a single bit of that is not factual. The JP Morgan
and the coup that was happening in Russia and that stopped.
So I have a theory on what actually happened with this coup. First of all, I get that Pashenka or whatever, the guy that's the head of the Wagner group, like that particular group of the military, has been vocal about his disgust over the fact that Putin is charging him with going into Ukraine and fighting the Ukrainians. So I recognize that he's been vocal about that already. But this idea that he was leading a coup against Putin into Moscow, and then 2 hours outside of Moscow, they just stop. And then you find out that the president of Belarus, he negotiated this whole thing. So what happens with most of that military is now they have moved. They've been exiled to Belarus. Where is Belarus? If not,
right there by the Ukraine.
It's right on the northern border of Ukraine. So basically now you have created an excuse to move an entire military organization, like a very well-trained military group, into a bordering country of a country you're at war with. It feels, and the fact that the U.S., like we just found out this week that the U.S., the CIA, knew that this was coming. Like they knew that the Wagner group was going to be committing this. Like they knew it. So all of that together to me just strikes of this was organized. This was designed in order, I think, to move those troops from areas of Ukraine where they were not doing well against the Ukrainians.
Be like, see, we're gonna go fuck them up. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
And then you also have Poland sitting over there, boistering.
Poland's just waiting to hit it.
They're grabbing their baseball bat going, I'm just going to talk to him.
Yeah.
Just going to talk to him. No, I'm just going to shoot him. What? I'm just going to talk to him.
Yeah, ready to go. Poland's waiting to pull the trigger.
Yeah, they're like, we just need NATO.
See, but what happens is if Poland goes in, then Norway goes in because Norway's on the border, and Russia, Putin's already pissed off that Norway joined the UN, or no, like NATO. So,
and Poland has every reason to be like, first it was the Nazis putting camps in our fucking country, and you know what? We're done by that. Like, go Poland. I don't care. Go.
So what are some exotic things that they have to do that y'all guys would not do? As far as like, you know, you can swim with like the sharks in certain places.
I got one for you.
You can stingrays.
For $50 million, would you spend 5 minutes in a cage with a pissed off gorilla? You don't have to fight it. You don't have to do nothing, but you have to be in that cage.
What do you mean?
How big is it?
20 by 20 feet.
That's pretty big.
Is it like see through, or can he reach me?
He can absolutely reach you. You're in there with him, and he's fucking fuming. Now you don't have to go fight him. You don't even have to engage with him.
What is he saying?
So if you all you have to do is be locked in this cage. How long?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's a long time.
Hold on. So the gorilla can touch me?
He can.
Don't give him a reason to. But yeah, he's not happy at all. He's very angry.
So
man,
I'm $50 million.
$50 million for 10 minutes.
And you get to wear like a helmet if you so desire.
Well, honestly, silverback gorilla is just going to yank your head off anyway.
What would you do though? It is nothing to say that he's like, even though he's pissed off, that he's necessarily going to come beat the shit out of you. Would you do it with the fact that like you could curl up in a ball and just wait out that time?
No. Mm-mm.
You could go and just be like.
That's like me telling you to be on an iceberg with a polar bear for 10 minutes.
Polar bear's a carnivore. A gorilla's not there to eat you.
Wait, are you taking it as a racial thing? Because he said gorilla?
No. I'm just saying polar bear. Polar bear.
Polar bear will eat you. Like, that's his whole purpose. He's hungry. He could eat you. A gorilla's not there to eat you. You're just hoping that he's pissed off and that you're not going to add to his pissed off situation. He's an herbivore.
So $50 million for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
So you're no.
$50 million for 5.
I'll go $50 million for 5.
And guys, you do understand your scenario. We're paying. We're getting the money. Those guys paid to so it's a little different.
Well, I'm just talking about the scenario.
No, it's a little different though.
Okay,
so like, am I gonna pay to go dive with a great white? No.
Yeah, so what's the most money y'all guys would pay to do something crazy, and what is that crazy thing that it would be?
Here's the thing. So I don't know.
Like maybe if a helicopter would like fly you up to Mount Everest and like put you at the top, so you can finally say you made it to the top of Mount Everest. What would you pay for that?
Oh, that's a huge flex. That's
what I'm saying. See, I knew I would get them.
There's so many. Even for the littlest amount of money, I'm not gonna pay to do that. Because then they're gonna be like, you cheated. I'm like, well, fuck you. Like, I was at the top of it.
I was at the top of Mount Everest.
I just want to ask this question. In the scenario, I have $50,000. Let's say $50,000.
You have the same amount of money that they had
to
and for one, I don't think helicopters
cannot go that high.
The big thing is like once you're there, like you get to go back down.
I think the best case scenario is that a plane is flying, 10,000 feet above it, and then I can jump out of the plane. My answer is going to be no at that point because I know exactly what's going to happen.
Or maybe
I'm coming up on it. Damn it, I missed.
Me out with that parachute hook line shit that they had in Batman.
Yeah, how else am I getting down?
No.
But I almost had you. You was like, oh, Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Sure. Would you for $50? Would you go swim with a great white like in the cage while they're jumping?
I wouldn't
sharks?
either.
I don't swim at Myrtle Beach because I know they have sharks.
But you're in a cage.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I know the sharks.
What would you do then?
Okay, the most thing that I probably would do. Man, if we're talking something crazy,
and you have the money to support,
and I have the money to support
gender reassignment.
No, man. Let me think, man. Let me think. I don't know. You need to tell me something, man. Come on,
dude. Like the craziest thing I would do, skydive. Then that's
see,
like
no. See, I would see. That's. I feel like
I
that's
don't want to do it either, but that's like the craziest thing.
Yeah, he's right. So speaking, I've done tandem skydiving twice, and I enjoyed it, but it's not something that I see myself wanting to do again.
I got something. If I could, I will rent the shit that they have like that goes in the water and comes right back out of the water, and I will rent that. You know, it's like it looks like a
that's
dolphin.
Like the mayonnaise spicy of things.
I'm just saying that's what I would do.
That's the craziest thing you'd pay to do.
Yeah, probably. As far as like water or elements.
I would say this.
Elements or something.
My wife paid for the craziest thing I would do to pay for and enjoy.
Like Nikki tried to get me
to swim a stock car. I drove a stock car by myself on Charlotte Motor Speedway.
I thought you were going to say had a kid.
Yeah, that's the most expensive.
That's a payment. That's a fucking payment.
I totally thought
I created a person now I had to take care of it.
So, just as disclosure, we were going to have on the podcast this week. We were going to have on. You
don't got to snitch on them. If you
no, I'm not snitching. No,
okay.
I'm excited because I'm excited that we're going to have them on soon, though.
Yeah, facts.
The owner of Columbia Comics and managing member of the Soda City Comic Con. That's Soda City Comic Con coming up this August. I have details on that, but I'll make sure to also include them.
You want to know who will be there?
Yeah. So
want to be there.
It is going to be Sean Austin and Christina Ricci.
So I
as long as a bunch of anime voice actors.
Yeah, when you all told me that Christina Ricci was there, I think I told Trent. I was like, oh yeah, Christina Ricci was one of my Hall Pass top fives.
No, you had said 7.
And we're gonna make.
You said 7,
yeah,
and
he did say 7.
I had to ask you why 7. Like, why do you have that much of a number?
There's 6 more before. We're gonna make sure to tell Christina Ricci this.
Yeah, sure.
Like you're like you're number 7 on Bear's list, right?
Barrett's Hall Pass,
which then prompted Trent to ask me who
your top 5 was.
My top 5 was. So
and you wrote it down.
Yes, he wrote it down.
Actually,
he's like Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie was like 9 when I was how old is she?
We're talking about now, Barrett.
Yeah,
Jesus.
come on, man.
No, this is my list from way back when I worked in radio. Like this was something we legitimately.
So he's gonna
you about to say they don't look like how they look? Like you about to say Shania Twain?
Well, let me just.
He's like Roseanne Barr.
So this was never. This was my list from
Funny enough, number 2, Tom Arnold.
This was my list from back when I was like 18, 19, 20, 21. This was my top 5, and we could only change it once a year. So I don't have what it was previous to this.
Kim Basinger's on that list.
So
isn't she?
no. I no particular order.
The hot chick from Top Gun,
Julianne Moore.
That's so gross. Like,
why is that gross?
She's not.
Think back then.
That's his number 1.
No, I'm just saying.
That's
no
your number
particular
1.
order.
No, I need
I
order.
Understand.
I need order.
You need order. Okay,
I
so
need order.
here's my order then.
Yeah.
Number 5, Alicia Silverstone.
Facts, Steve.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I was like, God.
Number
I
4,
give you that one.
Christina Ricci.
Okay. Oh, she moved up on your list.
No, I didn't move her anywhere.
Yeah, because she was 7 when you told me last week.
It was part of a joke.
Nah.
She's really number 4. All
right. He's trying to make her closer because he knows he's going to see her soon.
No.
He's like, actually, you were number 1.
No, it's
the week of the podcast that we doing there. Like, you know you're my number 1, right?
It was the irony that it wasn't a top 5 or a top 10. It was a 7. It was a.
Well, what I do want to know
it was a little disrespectful. That's why I said 7. Okay, go ahead. Finish your list.
Let me finish. So
get your list ready.
Number 4, Christina Ricci.
Okay.
Number 3, Julianne Moore.
Okay.
Number 2, Reese Witherspoon. And number 1, Denise Richards.
Okay.
That was my top 5 celebrity hall pass.
All right. What you guys at?
I'll give Barrett a pass because I was looking up what year Addams Family came out when she's a child, and Barrett said,
"Oh, no, 19."
You trying to do some adding on Barrett?
1991.
She's only a year.
Catch a predator.
I was waiting for it to be like 1996. Barrett's like in high school and she's fucking Wednesday Addams. Like,
She's 1 year younger than me.
Or was she playing in Casper?
Fair.
How old was she when you seen Casper?
Casper was like 1991. Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah.
No, it would have been like 94, 95. Bill Pullman, I don't know. She was
Devin
like 16,
Swall
but
was
I would have only been 17.
It's fine. It's fine. We didn't.
We see you.
No, I take that back. If it was 94, she'd have been 13. I'd have been 14.
Okay.
I don't have a list.
Yeah, you can't have a list. You don't have a list.
I mean,
come on, man.
I don't. And
you got 5. You got 5 that you can see. How you gonna be on top 5?
Fine. Haley Williams of Paramore's number 1.
Okay. The one with the orange hair.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Always loved her. She's my second wife. She just doesn't know it.
Fire crotch. Okay. Gotcha.
Her hair's not really red.
Oh, you know what crotches look like, huh?
Well, and by the way, we're the almost exact same age. So
okay.
Try that one on.
All right.
And Margot Robbie's definitely on there.
Okay, that's 2.
And then Gal Gadot's on there.
Come on.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Then it has to go Marianne Williamson.
Okay.
I don't know.
Look, you might be in charge with Bear because Bear wanted too.
Bear got me with
surprised he didn't get on Bear's list too.
He's like, what?
Bear. Her and Bear was throwing shots at each other. I said, "Oh, it's getting spicy in here." You don't look your age too either.
The chick who played. Have y'all seen the movie the 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah.
Remember the younger sister who had to wear like the pregnancy suit?
Yeah.
She also played Alec Mack, and I had a crush on her when I was a kid.
Okay.
So her, and then let's round it out. Alicia Silverstone too.
There you go.
Fire.
All right, Trent, your turn.
All right, so it's gonna be Reese Witherspoon.
Is number 1?
No, not number 1. This is
1 to 5. 1 to 5. 1 to 5.
No, I'm going 5.
5 to 1.
5 to 1. It's Reese, and then it's Halle Berry.
Okay.
Then it's
Gotta think for foreheads with the Reese Witherspoon.
Oh yeah, man. You gotta look. You might fuck my list up just now. I thought about Tyra. But nah.
I said foreheads, not forehead.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That's the first thing you think when you think it's so true.
Number 3 will be Cash Doll. Okay. Number 2 is gonna be Margot Robbie. What's her name?
Margot Robbie. Yeah.
Yes. And my number 1, man, it's gonna have to be Kourtney Kardashian.
Dang.
Really?
Wow.
It's Kourtney.
Okay.
I smell that pick.
So this is so
Kourtney Kardashian, not Kim. Kourtney.
Yeah, Travis Barker's girl.
Correct.
This is all the result of our excitement over the fact that we're going to have the organizers for the Soda City Comic Con 2023 on the show.
Correct.
Barrett started it. He said Christina Ricci was on his list.
No, I know, but this all was the result of that.
And you said Sarah Huckabee Sanders was on your list too.
You know what?
Who rides who in this situation?
Number 8, Trent's mom. I think that's gonna about do it.
They mad now. He's mad.
Big man.
That is gonna wrap.
He's got a thing for girls with old smoky eyes.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
That is gonna wrap things up for episode number 162 of the All About Nothing podcast. Thank you very much, Dad King. Thank you very much, Trent Clark. And thanks to our guest, of course, Bill Kimler, who stopped by and was able to talk with us about everything.
Hey, please join us next week so we rank more women.
Yeah. This was probably the most sexist thing we've ever done.
Yeah, me's gonna be like, what you guys doing?
Links to all the past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, and social media are available on our website, theallaboutnothing.com. And if you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly, and you're in the giving mood, why not make yourself an official Nothinger and support the show? Visit theallaboutnothing.com and click on the support link near the top of our page. You can also subscribe. Well, you'll be able to subscribe monthly at varying levels of membership tiers and click on the links. You can also give us tips, but if you sign up for a membership, you can actually get exclusive content as well as early episodes. Please subscribe to the show, likes and follow. Help us out on Facebook and Twitter, and share it with your family and friends. Thank you very much for listening. You all stay safe and
have a week.
The All About Nothing podcast is produced and engineered by me, Bear Gruber, and recorded from the podcast studio at GOT Sound Studio in Lexington, South Carolina. GOT Sound Studio is owned and operated by Neek the Geek. Visit GOTSoundstudio.com for details on studio rental, production, and engineering. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the Producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the Producer. Thanks to Trent Clark, aka DJ Lonzo. Join him weekly at the venue in Columbia, South Carolina for the Saturday All-Star Drag Brunch and Sundays at the Review Drag Brunch. You can also contact Trent for all your entertainment needs. Trent at theallaboutnothing.com and on Instagram, TheRealDJLonzo. You can also phone him, 803-262-7982. Thanks to Zach King. You can follow him on Instagram at KingZach07 and on Twitter at CarolinaKing21. I am Bear Gruber. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bear Gruber or visit my Linktree/Bear Gruber. Want to support the show? Visit our page, theallaboutnothing.com, and become a member. There are several tiers available, including memberships that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. Visit theallaboutnothing.com. To find links to our social media, merchandise, and past episodes, as well as other details, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be heard on the show, you can call and leave us a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our partner podcasts. Zach and I host What the Pod Was That with Carrie Simmons. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com for links and details. Ami takes a deep dive down the rabbit hole in episodes of Welcome to Wonderland. Available on all of your podcast platforms. As well, you should check out DJ Lonzo's Top 5. Available on all of the podcast listening platforms. Please subscribe and share the show. If you're on YouTube, please like and hit the notification bell. The All About Nothing podcast is a product of Bear Gruber Entertainment and Media. Thank you for listening.